Hetepu. She's out. She's out, people. So I took my time to craft something. I think this was even probably before the Book of African Spirituality, but it had to take time. I had to find the right moment, and I had to be off of anything that speaks social, even though I'm not really a social media cat. But I had to really take some time off in order for me to be able to give birth to this body of work that comes from our ancestors, our forefathers, and our foremothers. And it took a while. It took a lot of contemplation. It took a lot of editing, a lot of writing, a lot of rewriting, a lot of thinking, a lot of taking time off of everything else in terms of economically speaking. If you understand the concept of opportunity cost for a lot of things that I needed to do in order to be on this planet. Remember now, with what the Wazungu, Yurugu, Abelungu created, is that as a human now, since the 1900s, you literally have to pay to be on this planet, which has never happened before. Yes, we had work, but it wasn't about that if you don't pay to be on this planet, then you will not survive. It's never been like that. What is called sort of European civilization, you have to, what they call civilization, right? Some of us don't call it civilization. It's just, it's weird. You have to pay in order to survive. So if you have kids, you have to pay in order to be able to survive. So if you take time out of anything in order to put in the work for something else, for spiritual stuff, then it's a lot of opportunity cost. But it is finally here. This is, besides the little book of Tehuti, the Oracle of African Spirituality is one of the books that I have always wanted to put together. And the reason why I wanted to put it together was because somebody said that, a Heru once said that you're not a Heru until you've put down an oracle. And that has always been a rebuttal. Whenever he faced criticism, that, okay, so where is your oracle? So finally for me, I've been given the opportunity to write some of the works of our forefathers and foremothers. You remember, I always say the things that I write and from an African perspective, and I'm giving you African perspective, which is the reality, not from a Yurugu or Wazungu perspective. So Yurugu Wazungu perspective is that if you pen something down, then you are given the credit, you are the man, you're the woman, or any of that stuff. Whereas in African spirituality, which is why that when you go to Kemu, the different monuments, right, or even from an intellectual property perspective, it wasn't credited to one person per se, right, the way we see things. It was, this is from the Neteru, which is the natural forces, or this is from the ancestors or forefathers and foremothers, and then you put together what they've given you in order to be able to put, like the pyramids. That's from the different Neteru and the different Shepsu in order to be able to put together those monuments. So that is the African way, and that is why I always then, whatever it is that I put together, I never credit myself. I always credit the people, your ancestors, right? My ancestors, African ancestors. I always credit them because it is their works. I just happen to have the opportunity to be on the continent, and also to have a computer in front of me, to then be able to put together what the Neteru, the Chepsu, and your people, our people, want us to put, right? So that we can document the truth once again, not this Yurugu civilization, so-called civilization, which is weird for all of us. Now that we've got that out of the way, obviously I always do this so that, we get to a point where we sift out the people that do not want truth, the people who believe in fantasies, who believe in Harry Potter for adults, Spider-Man for adults. So now we can get to the truth, right? Because I think after maybe 2 minutes or whatever, and they hear that this kind of, talk, then they will segue. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is I just want to, I'm going to take just a page and elaborate what is the Oracle of African Spirituality, right? Understanding the Oracle of African Spirituality. The true meaning of an oracle, not what you've heard, right? The true meaning of an oracle is more than just a tool for seeking guidance. It's a way to access wisdom that goes beyond what we see and know in our everyday lives. It acts as a bridge between human understanding and the vast, often unfathomable intelligence of the universe. So that, as you understand, from an African spirituality perspective, from a reality perspective, the universe is alive. That is the difference. We don't believe in theism, monotheism, whatever theism that any people that do not understand reality come up with. Ours is simple. Energy is alive. Everything and anything that exists is energy. Ra, Re, and energy, you, me, my voice, is literally just a manifestation of energy. It is a different form, a different expression of energy. That's all, right? Where we are different from Yurugu physics and Yurugu chemistry and maths and all of that stuff is that we say the universe is alive, because for us it does not make sense that you can create something that is alive, which is us, from something that wasn't alive, from a random perspective, right? So that is the difference. For us, the universe is alive. Hence, we reject the man in the sky fallacy. We reject the walking on water psychosis. We reject the man can't read and then all of a sudden he writes a book called Quran, fairy tales. We reject those fairy tales because for us everything has to be knowledge. It has to make sense. The logic has to be sound, and the knowledge has to be tested. It has to be repeatable. So if you claim something that it happened in the past, we must also be able to reproduce it now. So the oracle, when we consult an oracle, we are accessing a source of wisdom which is held within the universe that helps us understand the complex and often uncertain questions that we face in life. It's particularly valuable in moments of uncertainty or when we are searching for meaning beyond the ordinary. The word oracle itself is rooted in the Latin term oraculum, which comes from orare, meaning to speak. Historically, the term referred not only just to divine messages, but to the person or place through which that particular message was being delivered. In ancient times, people sought out sacred sites, of which Africa was the highest in terms of getting pings for people to come and search for knowledge, for wisdom, to receive guidance. It was priestesses, it was priests, it was specific locations like Siwa, which is in Africa, and that oracle was called the Oracle of Siwa. So you had leaders, you had kings, you had everyday people alike would make the journey to consult the Oracle of Siwa, the Oracle in Kemu, the Oracle in our beautiful land, Africa. They were hoping to receive answers that could influence their futures. When we say influence, oracles are not about foretelling. That's another Yurugi nonsense, right? Because nobody can foretell the future. It's all probability. However, oracles can advise you in terms of what you are currently going through right now and give you a sense of meaning and a sense of what are the possible considerations that you can include in your thinking process Because when you think, you need data, you take the data and then you make decisions. So an oracle, all it does is that it gives you certain pieces of information that you can then use in order for you, ultimately the decision is still yours. At its core, the oracle serves as a source of clarity. It doesn't predict outcomes, like I said. It reveals underlying truths and insights through symbols, signs, and messages. Remember, in African spirituality, in our understanding of the universe always gives you signs. The universe always communicates with you, right? It communicates with you through people, things, and events. That is why, here's the secret nugget, that is why when we create a script, because we're the first people to create the written language script, we used symbols that are similar to nature, birds, legs, everything. Those are the symbols that we used because in our understanding of reality is that everything that happens to you is a communication from the universe about whatever the event is, and the universe is talking to you and is advising you for you in order to be able to do what you need to do. But it takes a certain person, a certain level of enlightenment for you in order to be able to easily decode the people, things, and events that we communicate with every single day, so that you can understand what the message is from the universe. It can be through ancient texts, natural elements, bones, or cards. An oracle helps us connect with the rhythm of nature and the universe from what time is it and what is happening. And once you have that, the space and time in terms of what is happening, space, and then time in terms of what time is it, what season is it. This tool helps us to align with the principles of the universe. It helps us remember, for us, the universe is an interconnected system. And we codified the word ma'at or Ubuntu to represent the relationships, the interrelationships. That means the relationships between two parts, two elements, and then the intra-relationship, the relationship that a part has with itself, and then those relationships to the system, which is the interconnected relationships. We call that Ubuntu, or we call it Ma'at, the concept of truth, harmony, and order. And Ubuntu, Ma'at, then those relationships, it helps us understand that what are the inherent and natural relationships between things that exist in the universe, right? That is why for us, a lot of these things, this woke nonsense that is happening, we reject it in Africa because it's not Ma'at, it is not Ubuntu. In Africa, its form and function, every element that is part of the universe has a form and it has a function, and that function serves a particular end goal in order to create order, in order to create Heru or Ser, and anything that is that is not aligned to that, it is Isfet, and we know that the energy that governs Isfet is Set. That is how we personified it. The Oracle of African Spirituality is not just a divination tool. It's a gateway for deeper understanding of self, of you. Consider it as a wise mentor, a mirror, a trusted companion that offers insights and perspectives. It helps us uncover patterns, identify our strengths and weaknesses, and face life with a sharper feeling of purpose. Understanding what is going on right now, understanding what data points can you use, what information, what advice can you use in order to be able to go through what you're going through, with pieces of information from the universe. What makes the Oracle of African Spirituality powerful, what makes it unique, is that it reveals what is already true beneath the surface. Whether you are grappling with career choices, whether you're struggling through your relationships or whatever challenges or spiritual growth, the Oracle of African Spirituality will be able to offer you the valuable guidance that you need. It helps us face life's uncertainties with confidence. It will allow you to make better decisions, and ultimately it will allow you as an African to understand your place in the universe, right? Like I said, for me, the things that I do are for Africans. That is the message that I've been given, right? So this is your body of work. This is ours. This is the truth. This is us uncovering the truth and removing the nonsense that surrounds Kemu, for example. Remember, Kemu was taken from us using fake history and fake Hollywood stories, and the Arabs took Kemu from us, but Kemu is ours. It's a black civilization. So these are some of the nuggets that they don't have, that they can't do, the things that they can't do. And these are for me, this is a way of our ancestors, the Neteru, the natural forces of the universe, communicating different messages to us. So have fun with it, have a relationship with it. And as always, the things that I've been given, I make them universally accessible. I haven't created a community, which I suppose maybe one day will probably be nice, but I haven't really created a community that is exclusive, that then allows us to have students and teachers and all of that stuff. It's not freely available, but what I'm saying is I've made it available to people, the people that are ready to then go and get it, right? Because there is nothing random in African spirituality. And the reason why I always say African spirituality, I want to be clear that this is the work of Africans. I don't want to, when you say reality, then we know what's going to happen. It's like hip hop. Hip hop, it's like R&B, it's like country, it's like rock, it's like all of these musical elements, jazz, like all of a sudden, they try and hide that it does not come from us. So that is why, for me, it's clear, and I subscribe to the moniker of African spirituality. But otherwise, it's actually spirituality. It's the truth. But it is important that we keep on calling it African spirituality, because it's the wisdom and the power as codified by African sages. And this oracle of African spirituality is an oracle of African spirituality. I was advised not to ever call it, or even the book of spirituality is called the Book of African Spirituality, because it's African sages that put that together. It's African sages that put the oracle of African spirituality. So be clear that this work, even when you absorb it and you read it and you use it and you form a relationship with it, be very clear that it is African spirituality. So in a nutshell, where can you get it? As usual, my books are always on Amazon.com, right? And it's freely, or not freely, it is widely available to the African diaspora, to continental Africans, so that they consume the works of their ancestors and forefathers and foremothers, the beautiful queens, the beautiful kings that gave us this wisdom, the true geniuses, the true geniuses. And if you understand the word genius, the word genius is spiritual. It comes from the word jinn, which means that you have a spirit activated inside of you that then allows you to be able to express the talent or the gifts that you have. And when we say spirit, remember, spirit is literally the unseen natural forces, right, inside of you that allows you to be able to then express all of these things that we have. So yeah, have fun with it, enjoy, and I hope that it gives you the insight and the peace and the blessings, the Hetepu, the second Hetepu, and that you need. The one other thing that you will find within the Oracle of, remember, the Book of African Spirituality was our stories, right? So telling the stories unadulterated, right? Except obviously for the Book of Ma'at, where the king explains what each and everything means, right? But now the Oracle of African Spirituality then explains the different forces of nature, the different categories that we use. So when we say Heteru, when we say a female neter, we're getting it from the source, right? Remember, there are no gods and goddesses. That's garbage. So you're getting to understand what is the natural force called Hetepu. Sekhmet. Who is Sekhmet? What does she represent? Niyit. Who is Niyit? Niyit or Nit, the creator of the universe. Who is she? Amen. You know, what is Amen? Who is he? Mut. Who is she? Remember, in African spirituality, there's always a male and a female. We don't mess around with nonsense to say, oh, one is superior, the other one is not superior. For us, it's the universe is balanced. So for all the 22 Neteru, which were the major Neteru, there's an explanation of what they represent, what energy do they govern. So it literally gives you, it's an initiation, it's a form of initiation to help you understand. And then you can see what the Greeks copied. You can see what the Romans copied. You can see what the Arabs copied. You can see what these people that are committing whatever they're committing right now in the Middle East copied to write those books. So you can see the source. Oh, that this is where did they copy angels, right? Because it's the Neteru. Where did they copy saints? Because it's the ancestors, right? They were trying to be clever and use words, which is why their stuff doesn't work. It doesn't create peace in the world. It creates all the stuff that we're seeing right now on telly, on TikTok, or on social media. The stuff that they're creating right now, it doesn't work because it is fake. It is based on untruths. Right, it's based on copying stuff that you don't understand and then perverting it in whatever it is that they've perverted into. That is why it doesn't work. That's why we have all these conflicts all over the world, because their stuff doesn't work. We've shown it. That's why people are popping pills all over the world, because their stuff doesn't work. You know, so there are no spiritual people right now because it's been replaced by this religiosity. So these theisms, these fake stories. So by reading the Oracle of African Spirituality, you'll be able to understand where did they take these things, and you'll be able to spot the nonsense, right, and be able to get the signal from the noise. As usual, I'll always do that so that I can put off the people that need to be put off, so that they don't engage in this kind of wisdom, because this kind of wisdom is supposed to be esoteric in that it's supposed to be for a few exclusive group of people. But for me, I've taken which I probably wasn't supposed to, the idea that I need to give it to the people that need it. But the reason why, so my caveat is that I don't market it, right, to a lot of people. Then it allows the people that are supposed to get this information, then the people will get it. And I make sure that it's raw, unedited, unscripted, so that it doesn't sound polished and then it becomes popular. You know what I mean? So that has always been my caveat, then, that in this way, the people that need to get it, the people will get it. Anyway, Hetepu, peace and blessings. Enjoy the book. It's available today. You have questions, put it on the comments. As usual, let's have fun with it. Let's get the insights from our ancestors. Let's find out, let's get the insights from our foremothers, forefathers. Let's get the insights from the universe to see where they, what they want us to do now and they want us to go. Okay, cool. Peace and blessings. Hetepu Togoza.